I would like to welcome you to the Newton Free Library. My name is Ellen Myers, and I'm in charge of the programs and communications aspect of what happens in this building. And this is one of my favorite programs. Margaret Ford and I work together. She works here part-time with me, assisting me in so many things and helping keeping the programs office running. And today is her special day because she also, as you know, is the mother of Students for a Greener World, if I might use that expression. It's all of the children in this room who are participating in this through their schools or through Students for a Greener World, Green Newton's student group, are working to improve our environment. Let's give them a hand. We have programs for all people of all ages every day of the week. This is like the third time that there's been a program in this room today. So come on down to the library and take advantage of everything we have. And without further ado, I'd like to turn this program over to the fabulous Margaret Ford.
I would like to welcome and thank all of you for coming tonight. And I think you will have a wonderful time. We've got pretty much everything you can think of and then some. We have videos, we have slideshows, we have polar bears. Oh, these are our mascots. Al Gore. And this is Scout. We named it Scout because its first assignment was with the Girl Scouts. And its second project was with the Boy Scouts. And it's like, okay, Scout, you can be whatever you want. So you will see more from them later on. Our MCs this evening are Rachel from Newton South, Sophia from Newton North. And our tech guy over here is Michael. Okay, so are you guys ready to get started? All right, Michael, let's go to the real thing.
Welcome to our May Greening Our Community series. Tonight we're celebrating the great environmental work that kids like us have been doing all year long and Green Newton's achievements for over 25 years.
We hope Green Newton reach out to kids of all ages and help them learn and practice environmentally friendly actions at home, school, wherever, and have fun doing it. We're the ones who will work to find a way to keep Newton green for the next generations. Who wouldn't want to be a wild boar?
Tonight's theme is the 2018 Green Submarine Tour of Newton with our polar bear mascots, Al Gore and Scout, which you guys have all met. We'll see what's happening at 4 Newton schools on the tour: Pierce and Underwood Elementary Schools, and Newton North and Newton South High Schools. We're looking forward to showing you the fun and creative ways each of us have of making Newton greener. First off, we have students from Pierce and their teachers who have been working on creating a garden at their school. Ann Carey and Becca Smiley will tell us all about it.
So our 4th and 5th grade green teams have been working hard all year on environmental issues, thinking about recycling and improving recycling in our school community as well as at home, doing a lot of looking at plastics and how to reduce single-use plastics and their impact. We have a 5th grade salad garden, and we have a new compost bin that has just been built that we are about to launch school-wide. So we have a video that tells the story. Thanks.
What does it mean for you to go green?
All right, so when I think of the color green, I think of things being alive and being able to grow and flourish. So I think of making the right conditions where things can live.
I think what it means to go green is to not pollute plastic and actually put the plastics in recycling and put the paper in recycling and don't put rocks in recycling.
It means I'm trying real hard to reuse things instead of throwing them out. I'm trying to recycle things so that it can be remade into plastics and metals and things. I try to reduce the amount of trash that I throw out.
We have 3 little girls, so you can imagine the shower is always going. So we have started taking a bath and using the same water because that conserves a lot of water.
If we don't go green, then what will happen is that the air will be polluted and it'll be like tough for people to live and breathe because there's all gas and pollution going around.
Going green means we are saving the planet step by step by reusing, reducing, and recycling, and saving animals, and because we're cutting down on plastic.
What do you think it means to go green at home?
Maybe trying not to use as much single-use plastics.
Well, what it means to go green at home is to reuse your the plastic bags you get from stores, and you can reuse them for like bringing your lunch to work or school or whatever, wherever you go.
Well, I've started composting, bringing my leftover scraps of food into compost because of what Pierce is doing. And also at home, I try and recycle as much as I possibly can.
We have I made a tank with my friends, and it has worms. And say I have an apple or banana, I throw it in there so they can eat it and compost it.
So if I had a tissue, it would go in the trash. But if I had a piece of paper that had no food on it or any sorts of edible stuff, then I would throw it in the recycling bin.
I've seen a lot of trash in the recycling before, and I try to help that.
We have a huge recycling bin and trash bin. So what I do is I check the recycling in the trash bin before my dad takes it out, and I try to switch some of the trash with the recycling.
Things that I do to go green at home is to recycle and reuse.
I can have say maybe a plastic fork, and I can use it, and then I can wash it off and use it again. And it's better for the planet, and you don't have to get more of it, so it's reducing and reusing.
You can try and not waste food, but if you do waste food, then what you can do is keep the food for leftovers for the next meal.
Say one of my family members would throw something in the recycling that should be in the trash. I might go open it up, take out the trash, put it back in where it's supposed to be, and then tell my family member who did that, just to warn them.
You can use recyclable containers more than once.
It means to keep the world green and not litter and recycle, because when I think of recycling, I think of the green recycling bin, and I think it's to keep trees and plants alive, and yeah.
Instead of paper towels, I would try to use kitchen rags.
First, we have to reduce a lot of things, because right now there's a lot of plastics and especially flimsy plastic and plastic bags and straws. They're really hurting the environment. Yeah, but you can use tin foil instead of cling wrap, because that's recyclable and cling wrap isn't.
We're trying to recycle things that are meant to be recycled and not put trash in the recycling bins, and recycling stuff in the trash cans.
But now that I'm in green team, then I think that recycling is really important for the planet.
There's a bunch of trash all in the ocean. So if we start recycling, we'll have a clean and better environment, and just be more mindful of that.
Going green means, for the planet-wise, you don't pollute the oceans. That if you do that, it will kill animals.
If you can walk somewhere, you should walk there. Otherwise, you're polluting with the cars.
It means to plant things like plant flowers, plant fruits, plant vegetables, and it also means to bike distances that are a bit longer, so when you can't walk, but if you're going really far, then it's okay to drive.
So we started out with just recycling papers to let all the younger kids know how to recycle and what to recycle, and then we moved up to plastic, and that's where we are right now.
We're doing so much, we're
trashing this world, not realizing how great it is. But in Green Team, you can change that.
And we're planting spinach, arugula, thyme, rosemary, garlic, and chives.
Recycle, compost, pick up trash. I like to plant fruits and vegetables, and I like to bike rather than driving.
This is our thyme.
3 different types of thyme.
3 different types of thyme.
And they all taste very good.
There are a lot of stuff in our school that people put in the trash by mistake that is really good for reuse.
We're going green. We're going green. We're gonna take care of the earth. We're going green. You can go green at your home or school. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Recycle. Be careful how long you take a shower. You don't need to stand for 70 hours. Turn off the water when you're brushing your teeth and only use the necessary energy. Turn off the lights when they're not in use. Think how much electricity you produce. Take quick drinks, walk to school. Reducing energy is really cool. Pull out plugs when you're not using them. Turn off the computer now and then. Throw away litter, take out trash, and you'll save the earth in a flash. We're going green. We're going green. We're gonna take care of the earth. We're going green. You can go green at your home or school. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Reuse. Reuse stuff when you're out and about. If you use your hand, don't throw it out. Reuse bottles, reuse bags, reuse containers, and reuse rags. Donate toys so someone else can use them. Donate clothes, don't just lose them. We're going green. We're going green. We're gonna take care of the earth. We're going green. You can go green at your home or school. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Recycle! Just throwing away is not enough. Recycle some things to make new stuff, like paper, cans, and plastic too. Glass and cardboard out the wazoo. Make CDs and DVDs, light bulbs, cartridges, and batteries. Laptops, cell phones, and the news. Lots of metals you can choose. We're going green.
It's like one step at a time. Like, it's not gonna, if you change your life, change what you do, it's not gonna happen immediately. But if we all start doing it, then it definitely will make an impact.
Like after all of this is our planet, and we have to protect our planet, because if we don't, then who else can, right?
How do you go green at home? I'm working a little bit harder on it.
What we did was that we decided we'd take a step back. If you can't take a step forward, you take a step back and you keep on trying to take that step forward until you can.
Thank you for listening.
Green team, come up and take a quick bow, please.
At our next stop, Abby and Jonathan will tell us about the Green Machine Recycling Project at Underwood Elementary School and what they are learning.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mr. Gluck from the Underwood School, here with our Green Team Recycling 5th grade student leaders, Abby and Jonathan. Give them a hand. We also have a short video presentation for you, but before we let you see that, I thought the best way to introduce these two leaders and what we're doing at Underwood is to use their own teacher's words, who happens to be here tonight, the amazing Miss Murphy. Let's give her a hand. This is how she introduced this evening's program to her 5th grade class, and particularly Abby and Jonathan's families. As you probably know, these two took on a huge responsibility this year in encouraging the whole Underwood School to be more green. They have done this by taking charge of our recycling process at our school. Once or twice a week, they go around to every classroom and empty the compost, plastic recycling, stretchy plastic, Cliff Bar wrappers, and everything else that we do to keep our school green. It is a huge leadership role that they have taken on, and we are really proud of your work.
Jonathan, formerly known as Recycling Boy, but now I'm Mr. Trash.
My name is Abby, and I am Recycling Girl. We are at Underwood School, and we recycle.
We also trash.
Boo.
This is where I used to recycle. Mr. Hernandez room.
This is the good stuff.
This is Cliff Bar. It goes to TerraCycle, and we get points every year. At the end of the school year, we get money to buy books and supplies.
This is stretchy plastic, and we take it to Miss Green's room, and it gets delivered to local supermarkets.
Compost.
Compost.
Compost, which we don't have right now because we're so good.
Includes orange peels,
banana cores, apple cores,
bananas,
and anything else like that. Fruits, vegetables. So we'll meet you in Miss Green's room. We're here
in Miss Green's room. This is the recycling.
So this is all the stretchy plastic we have contained for the past few weeks. Cliff Bar, we have 3 full bags. No, 4 full bags.
For the whole school.
This is gonna go to TerraCycle, which we explained, which they're gonna tally a point at the end of the year. We're gonna get all the money from our points. So far we have a little over $100.
For the Cliff Bar wrappers, you can use any chip bags like these. Basically anything that has this type of thing inside.
Stretchy is anything that has plastic in them. If it's plastic, like a sandwich wrapper,
Ziploc bags.
Yeah, that's gonna go to Stop and Shop, Whole Foods, Star Market. Next up, we're going to the lunchroom where we're gonna show where our compost goes.
Go! Now we're in our lunchroom, and this is where we put all of our juice. Kind of nasty.
First we rinse it.
Dump it.
No, yeah, dump it. And then you rinse it out with a bucket of water. Then we dump it out in here where
our our janitor, Mr. Terabelli, brings it to our recycling bin.
Trash rules! Then we bring our compost outside to our garden, so we'll see you there. This is our beautiful Underwood garden. We're not going to talk about gardens, that's Pierce. This is where we dump out our compost. Yuck. Yuck. Recycling. You should always use trash.
This is where all the lunchrooms recycling goes, and this is where all the classrooms compost goes, not recycling.
Every classroom has bins, and Abby and I, or Mr. formerly recycling boy, me, and recycling girl Abby used to bring all the bins to the lunchroom, dump it out here, and then Mr. Gluck, our mentor, brings it up here and dumps it. Next up is my homeland and her homeland, the recycling and trash bins.
This is our recycling bins and trash bins. This is
my home, trashy land.
Food. This is the wonderful home of recycling. We got all sorts of things. We got some paper, we got some cartons, and some bottles. This is where you want to put your stuff.
In here, all we have is a bunch of paper bags with trash in them. I'm trying to feel something. I've now become recycling boy again.
Yay!
You should always recycle.
Thank you for listening to this wonderful presentation of recycling.
You should always recycle again. Go recycle! Go!
I would like to invite the former Mr. Trashy and Recycle Girl and all the remaining Pierce students to come up here for a moment, please. You know what this is about.
Now we will take a break and present the first part of our 6th annual Wild Boar Award. This goes to Pierce Elementary Green Facilitators Becca, Smiley, and Ann Carey. Next we have Underwood's School Teacher's Aide, Andy Gluck.
Okay, now in case you wonder what this is about, and you haven't been to one of these glorious events before, turn around and look at them. We annually present Wild Boar Awards to adults who have worked with the students and kids and who all are helping them learn to preserve the environment and to improve it. So, for the teachers, hold up your certificates, they're very lovely. You can see, oh, you're welcome. And all right, and we also have a gift of parsley for them for 2 reasons. One, because in the language of flowers, parsley is the sign of festivity, which means it's really fun to learn in your classes. The second reason is, who else would give you a parsley plant for a prize? So thank you all very, very much. The videos are delightful. I know some of them have to leave early, which is why we're doing this, but there's more to come, so stay tuned. Thank you all so much.
Next up on our submarine adventure, we have Ben Borhegi of the Wild Boars and Newton North, who will take us to Nicaragua.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. This really means a lot to me. And my name is Ben Borhegi, and I am a junior at Newton North High School. And today I will be presenting the Nicaragua ecology trip of 2018. It's a trip that's taken every year with Newton North's biology department, and this trip honestly has changed my life, so I wanted to share it with all of you guys. So what is the Nicaragua ecology trip? So what we did was we traveled around the state of Rivas, Nicaragua, and Rivas is a state in the southwestern corner of Nicaragua. And it's a trip that's meant to teach new North students more about the world outside of the Noon bubble and also about the complex ecology there. And I'll talk more about that later. Next slide. So why did I go? Well, I have a strong interest in ecology. That's more of a personal thing, but it's just like something that's really cool to me, you know. One big reason that a lot of people went is also to see what Nicaragua is like. We often get this impression from the American media that Nicaragua is a poor, corrupt country full of murders and violence. However, there's so much more to Nicaragua than that. So here's where we went. We went to several places. We first landed in Managua, which is the capital of Nicaragua, and I believe it's one of the few airports, and almost definitely the largest one there. And it's a pretty town. And then from there, we also stayed in Rivas that night, which is the capital of the state of Rivas. And then we went to Finca Bonafide, which is on the island of Ometepe in Nicaragua. And that's in the middle of the big lake that you see on the maps, which is called Lake Cocibola. Finca Bonafide is a really cool place. It was probably my favorite place on the whole trip because they do something called permaculture farming, which is where they farm with the forest rather than against it. Here in America, our farming style is usually more you clear land and then you plant the crops. However, in a permaculture farm, you work with the forest to create certain crops like jackfruit, bananas, coconut, star fruit, etc. And it was just a really cool place to be. And I really felt like I was in the heart of the jungle there. And then we went to Cardenas, which is a coastal town. There we got to learn about some really iconic trees of Nicaragua and their role in the ecosystem. And then we went to Morfo Azul and Finca La Conga. So we had breakfast at Morfo Azul. It's a really great place if you're thinking about going to Nicaragua. I would definitely recommend that you stay at Morfo Azul. They're fantastic. And Finca La Conga is it's another farm. It's not a permaculture farm, but one of the really cool things about this farm is that you can just walk like a couple hundred meters and you'll be right in the middle of this lush, dry forest. And it's just, wow, like that place, you learn so much from looking at these trees that are twice the size of this library, and you get to see how complex the ecology is, and you get real appreciation for what Nicaragua's forests are like. And then we went to El Ostional, where we explored another type of Nicaragua's forest, the mangrove forest. And the mangrove forest is really interesting because mangrove trees are one of the few trees that can live in salt water, and they're really important to maintaining that ecosystem, the saltwater ecosystem. And they also buffer storms, so that makes it really essential to Nicaragua, and especially this town. And we finally ended our trip in San Juan del Sur, and in San Juan del Sur, it was kind of like a relaxing place, and we got to go zip lining. That was really fun, and it was just, relaxing at the end of a long week of learning. Next slide. So what did I get out of the trip? So I formed some new friendships. The trip had many highs and lows, mostly highs, and because of that, I had a common experience with many people now, and we're great friends. And I also got to learn about the complexity of life in Nicaragua and also how that complexity relates to us humans. You also get to try a lot of new things. I got to try zip lining upside down for the first time, and I got to try some new foods. It was mostly rice and beans, but I got to try eating those every day, see if I can make it. And I also got to learn about the country itself, like the community there. And what I found is that Nicaragua is so much more than that image we see in the media. You know, it's we have a lot more in common with them than we think. So why should you or your child go on the Nicaragua ecology trip? So as I explained earlier, you can make new friends, and you'll learn a lot about the natural world and how each organism connects with each other and how that relationship affects us humans. But perhaps the biggest takeaway from this trip is that it gives you a chance to explore outside this Noon bubble. You know, we live in a very privileged place, but it really gives you that chance to take that risk and go on this new exciting adventure. And the trip, you know, it makes you realize that Nicaragua is part of the same world that we are part of, and perhaps that's what makes our connection so strong. So thank you so much for listening, and if you have any questions, I'd be delighted to talk about them at the end. Thank you.
Okay, so our next stop is actually water related. This is the first time that a school has produced a book as their project about sharks. Kayla Schwartz, Nika Hashimi, and Robbie Hoden.
Hello, my name is Nika. I'm Kayla.
And I'm Robbie.
And we are seniors from Newton South High School. So for our final marine biology project, we decided to make a children's book called Kenny the Great White Shark, as you can see. And we're just going to talk a little bit about our project and what we did.
So the first part of our project was kind of the research and reading piece of it. So Shark Trouble by Peter Benchley was a book that we started in class, and it kind of interested all three of us. And so we decided to do a project about it. And so what we learned from the book is kind of the basic things about sharks, what they eat, where they migrate to, and also kind of some tips on what to do if you happen to see a shark in the water and things like that. And we also learned a lot of knowledge about kind of like the misconceptions around sharks. So basically sharks only kill 80 people a year from shark attacks, even though a lot of people are really scared of sharks and stuff like that, but we actually kill 100 million sharks a year for things like shark fin soup and leather from their skin and other things like that. So that was something new that we found out. So we also had a cultural connections aspect of our project, and Kayla will talk a little more about
that. Yeah, so for part of our project, we wanted to get a global perspective on sharks and like the misconceptions they have. So we did Israel and Iran and Dubai. So I interviewed my cousin who lives in Herzliya, Israel. And so we asked what they heard about shark attacks, like if they even knew like much about sharks. So she knew a lot about sharks. There haven't been any shark attacks in Israel like in a really long time. They don't have like much experience with any shark attacks pretty much, but they have the same misconceptions that we have, that they're dangerous and like you don't want to be in a situation with a shark.
Yeah, so also we interviewed Nika's cousin named Sam, and he grew up in Iran and then moved to Dubai when he was 8 years old, and so that gave us a lot of interesting information. We learned that people in those countries, even though sharks aren't as prevalent as here, they still have those same misconceptions about sharks and how sharks are really dangerous and you need to stay away from them. So that was really interesting to see how that same idea kind of permeates throughout the world.
So for the book part of our project, we all came together because we had a common interest in sharks, shark misconceptions, and children on like sort of an unrelated note. So we brought that all together to make this book, Kenny the Great White Shark. And basically it puts it really simply, shark misconceptions. And so we have the main character, Kenny. I'm not going to give away the whole plot, but basically it's his journey around the sea trying to make friends, but he's having a hard time because all these fish and everyone, they're all afraid of him. So it just goes through and kind of explains some of the misconceptions. Kenny explains to these other fish in the sea, like, this is how things really work. This is what you guys think. So we will be selling that soon, to be decided, but we will let you guys know when we figure out what to do with that. But yes, this is our book. And yeah, next slide.
Okay, first, so our action piece. So we're deciding to sell the book. We're going to make a bunch of copies of it and donate the money to the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy in Chatham, Massachusetts. It's basically like trying to like conserve the number of sharks because they're going extinct.
Thank you all for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As we celebrate 11 years of Students for a Greener World, this evening we are also pleased to announce our 6th annual Wild Boar Awards, not to be confused with the Green Newton's Environmental Leadership Awards to be presented later this evening.
So why are we called the wild boars? Well, there are two main reasons. First, because sometimes we behave like the naughty but well-meaning cookie-loving characters in the children's book Meet Wild Boars and Wild Boar Cooks. Surely you know that they are as charming as we are. But even better, we later learned about the Hindu myth of Vishnu, who changed himself into a wild boar to save the earth from a demon. So we do have some environmentally redeeming associations as well.
Our coveted Wild Boar Awards are presented to well-deserving individuals who have helped us and numerous other students throughout the years. As we present a lovely certificate designed by Sophie Magnuson, they will also receive a parsley plant. Why? 2 reasons. Parsley is a symbol of festivity in the language of plants and flowers, along with educational aspects of their influence, and they've made it fun with us and others. They'll always remember us. Who else would give a parsley plant an award, you know?
So you've already met Becca and Anne and Mr. Gluck. But wait, there's more.
We'd like to present our award to Eric Olson for helping us with the Miss Rosary College trip. Is Eric? Is Eric? Yes, you, Eric.
Do you want us to go?
Here you go, Dr. Olson.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
What do you
Wait, stay.
We'd also like to recognize 2 of the teachers from the high schools, Andy Danberg, Newton North, and Sally Rosen from Newton South. Each of them has received a Wild Boar Award and a new Environmental Leadership Award, 2 of the 3 people in the history of the universe who've received both of those. So.
Our next 2 Wild Boar Awards are 2 ladies who also help us spread the word and take good care of the wild boars. First is Maureen Connell, Newton Farmers Market Assistant Manager and friend to Wild Boars and Green Newton. And second, Marcia Cooper, Green Newton President, for her ongoing support of the wild boars. No, it's on chair.
I want Margaret in the picture. Oh, goodness.
For giving us ice cream and dessert at the farmer's market every Tuesday.
Thank you, Margaret.
Congratulations and big thank you to all of our Wild Boar Award friends. Please join us in thanking all of our Wild Boar Award winners for their contributions to greening Newton.
Earlier tonight, we showed some of the SGW activities from the past 12 years. Now we'd like to give you a look at what's happened over the past 11 years. One of our favorites, SGW by the numbers.
Okay, so since 2007, SGW begins.
We now have over 65 members in SGW.
Those members represent 13 schools, and that's so far yet to see.
We've had 105 meetings since 2007.
And one meeting has been canceled because of the snow.
There have been over 5,000 cookies eaten at SGW meets and events.
We've recycled 400 plus sneakers at Noon Serve since 2015.
We've eaten 89 clementines.
We've had 750 plus environmental art student entries, and 15 joined SGW.
On our website, we have 12 wonderful videos, including the iconic Caterpillar song.
We've had 25 plus news articles, both on the Green Newton and newsletters for schools.
Since between 2008 to 2010, we've had over 60 businesses participate in the Newton Serves Business Recycling Project.
We've had 300 plus pinecone bird feeders made at events.
Some of the participating animals have been 300 caterpillars,
9 chickens,
4 rabbits,
1 turtle, and the one and only Wolverine,
1 tortoise,
1 guinea pig named Fuzzberry,
2 Berkshire blue rats,
and a bunch of composting worms. Okay.
We've collected 20,000 corks in association with Whole Foods.
We've had 4 library exhibits showcasing SGW and Newton School's green activities, including this year's exhibit through the end of May.
We've had 7 chicken races right here in the library.
We've had a zillion plus 1 outreach activities we do every year in Newton.
We've had 46 wild boar awards.
We
supported
SGW parents and families, all of them. Thank you.
Okay. This year, we have 2 seniors graduating. Rafid, the stage manager, who's been a wild boar for 3 years, and Nikki, who was also in SGW with her brother Taylor, the tech guy, 2016 grad. This is the part that Margaret likes to do, so we'll turn it over to her.
Okay. Rafid, I think, is working at Dunkin' Donuts, which is his after-school job, so he's not be able to join us tonight. But Nikki is here, so Nikki, you know how this goes. She used to be the one that did SGW by the numbers. Okay, so I met Nikki when she was about 6, 11, somewhere in there, younger than she was now. And she has actually been homeschooled since she was 6. And that path has included taking classes at Mass Bay Community College in addition to utilizing an eclectic range of other resources. She likes a lot of things in this world, but music is very high on her short list of favorites. Nikki's going to be going to Berkeley in the fall. And she plays viola, whatever. I'm from the South. Piano, electric bass, among other things, and she loves a wide range of musical genres. She is a nerd about music theory, likes musicology, and enjoys studying orchestra scores. Okay. And she also loves art, particularly drawing abstract and geometric designs. She likes folk dancing, food, cooking, flowers, and hugs. That I can attest to. She is a huggy bear if ever one was. But wait, she also knows 100 digits of pi. So as far as the photographs up here, the one at the top was taken at a workshop of recycled art a long time ago. That's when I first met Nikki. And if you look in the middle of the top, Nikki is carrying a polar bear on her back, and that is her brother in the blue shirt. He graduated in 2016, so now you're half of our class of 2018. She also plays the various instruments. She and her brother were the poster children for our sneaker recycling project, I think in 2015. And in the picture in the middle, that is taken at her recital, a month ago? That's the first time I've ever seen Nikki in a dress, and it was a beautiful dress, and she's wearing heels. And it was an incredible recital, really, really wonderful. Just so you know who the other people in there are, those of you who are musical among us, Her teacher, Emily Rideout, is on Nikki's right, and the other lady is named Kim Kashkashian. She's actually a world-famous violist, and it's very exciting to have this picture. So, Nikki came to us by way of Taylor, and ate many cookies and did many of these programs in her youth, and I'm so glad you're going to Berkeley and sticking around. Okay. Now Nikki's going to stay here while we talk about Rafid, because he's not here. Rafid is actually from Bangladesh, and I met him about 4 years ago when he followed his cousin, who is standing next to Nikki. So there's like this family thing going on with this bunch. And he joined, he goes to Newton North. He came to us when he was in the 9th grade. He participated in a whole bunch of Green Newton events, as you can tell. And he actually came and worked with us at the farmer's market last year. He interned with 30 Boys Composting. And he appears to be really low-key. He also appears to be invisible tonight. But he is our voice of good sense. And that's why in the past he has made such a great stage manager all these years. So, Nikki and Rafid.
So to close out the program, Al Gore and Scout, our favorite polar bears, have put together a little video for us. So without further ado, here is Polar Bear's Guide to Living Green.
Hi, my name is Al Gore. Yes, named after the Al Gore. And the little bear over there is Scout with some of our friends. We know you're environmentally friendly, but you can help teach others how to live green. Here are some of our activities. Newton serves sneaker reuse and recycling 4 years now.
Cork recycling. Make cool crafts or take them to Whole Foods for recycling. And keep your toy friends in good shape.
Go for locally produced food, from growing your own garden or
Dunkin' Donuts. Fresh at the farmer's market.
OMG bagels, huge.
Pumpkin. Veggies, for sure.
Watch out for the T-Rex. They'll eat anything, so be careful. We bears occasionally treat ourselves to happy children at their request. Smile and let them hug you. Hug them with your nice, clean paws. Enjoy the dining experience. And save room for dessert.
5-minute showers are good. Here are some ways to measure your 5 minutes. Set a timer or watch the clock. Sing a 5-minute song is much more fun. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Sweet Caroline, bum, bum, bum. Bath time never seemed so good. So good, so good, so good. Whoa, 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 waltzing. Whoa, 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 waltzing. Whoa, 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 waltzing. Waltzing with bears. Or is that washing with bears?
Hang up your laundry outside if it's sunny.
I'm sunny.
Battery charged mower.
Nice and clean. No nasty gasoline on your paws. I should supervise this activity.
Unplug and save lots of energy. Read to a bear at the farmer's market.
Ride your bike. Take a nap.
Or walk with your friends.
Solar panels are great energy savers, but don't try this at home.
Oh yes, energy efficient cars. Prius, the national car of Newton, especially if it's dark blue. Tesla, really cool. The electric engine is in the back.
And look at my super cool toy Tesla. You can teach others lots of ways to save our planet like these. And most important, spread the word!
And I would like to introduce you to our voiceover experts, Baby Bear, Sonny the Wonder Dog, special effects. And with that, we will turn you over to Grown Up Green Newton and their Environmental Leadership Awards. Thank you all so much for coming to Wild Boars 2018.
We have our Environmental Leadership Awards
every year. And actually, Green Newton has been the leading environmental group in Newton for 28 years now. We'll have 3 people giving out our 3 awards to 3 outstanding, deserving award winners. And I will do the first one. Our first award is to an individual in the community. And I'm very proud to be calling up Juanita Traybert, who is Newton's Director of Environmental Affairs. Soon. I believe Juanita has been doing this job for maybe 2 years, although it may seem like 20 to her, because it's a very, very big job. And I know that she puts in overtime. And so I'll get right down to it, why Juanita is receiving the award. In her role as Director of Environmental Affairs, Juanita Traybert is helping the city to understand why improved trash and recycling is important for reasons beyond keeping our surroundings clean. She has been doing a most outstanding job of educating our community by providing updated information on handouts for residents, as well as much improved user-friendly website, which I recommend that you, Newton Recycles website, right? If you go into the city's website and you go to the Planning Department and then Department of Environmental Affairs, DPW, you will learn so much, and you won't have to argue with everybody in your family about where to put things. What's more, her super intelligent and savvy approach has gained her allies in government to put in place a number of positive changes in the few years that she has been here. Green Newton commends Juanita for her collaboration with Green Newton Schools Connection Group. Together, we are conducting an extensive survey to gather data, and this survey was created by Juanita to ensure that all Newton schools will take necessary steps to dispose of trash more responsibly and significantly increase recycling in the classrooms, cafeterias, and in the whole facility. This is just another example about her leadership in creating a vision for Newton's sustainable materials management, which make it so much easier for the city to become a model for sustainability. So we thank you, Juanita, for the wonderful work you're doing, and we appreciate that you put your heart and soul into it, basically. Yeah, okay, and Dan will read our next award. So here you go, Dan. And here's your microphone.
I'm sure I'm not the first person to give an award to Mothers Out Front. They've come to our community with wonderful energy and have provided a big boost to the environmental movement. So when I know that Mothers Out Front is involved with something, I know it's going to be a powerful movement. Rachel Adler Golden, are you here, and could you come up? I'd like to invite the other members of Mothers Out Front here to come up. Green Newton recognizes the outstanding work of Mothers Out Front Newton to fight climate change. Under the leadership of Rachel Adler Golden, they are educating residents about the benefits of energy efficiency in an initiative called Use Less, Green the Rest. And they have joined a broad coalition of community groups to advocate for a high component of renewable energy in Newton's new electricity aggregation plan, Newton Power Choice. Green Newton commends Mothers Out Front for organizing gas leak tagging events in May 2017 and May 2018 to increase awareness about the health hazards of fracked gas and to bring attention to the urgent need to repair 600 leaks in Newton's gas pipelines. They also advocate for state legislation to raise the renewable portfolio standard, to stop fossil fuel infrastructure, to stop the pipeline tax to protect consumers from being charged for leaked gas and to expand solar energy. We thank you, mothers out front, for your outstanding contribution.
Can we have Eric Olson?
Okay, thank you. I have this incredible honor to award our last award to a Newton business. And this one goes to an organization, a company called Big Meister. And I hope Paul Eldrenkamp is somewhere lurking in the room. Oh, yes. Oh, and Rachel too. Oh, great. Oh, these are the two masterminds behind this. This is great. What I have to read here is only what our spies have been able to pull off the internet and what we've learned from friends. So there's probably more to say about these guys than what we have here. But anyway, this is a company, Big Meister Design and Build, that has been around for years in Newton. And as we all know, teardowns of older homes have become all too common and can detract from the character of our residential neighborhoods. But Paul and his group, they're all about smart preservation. Paul founded his company, Big Meister, that's Scandinavian for master builder, some 3 decades ago, and likes to stress that he's not a home builder, he's a home fixer. He started Big Meister as a remodeling company. That's still what his Oak Hill Park-based company does. Big Meister's commitment to deep energy retrofits in every step of the renovation process is a hallmark of their work. They use software called WeGoWise to help clients measure energy savings before and after for their home, appliances, insulation, lighting, and so on. Paul has been involved in state policy efforts to dramatically reduce energy use in buildings. He served as the chair of Governor Patrick's Zero Net Energy Task Force's residential sector working group. He is also a regular speaker at local construction energy conferences. He is a founding partner of the DEAP Energy Group, Deep Energy Group, a consulting partnership that helps project teams move up from code-level construction to really the cutting-edge passive house level of efficiency, zero net energy, deep energy retrofits, and other high-efficiency building standards. He is a certified passive house consultant, serves on the boards of Passive House Massachusetts and on the Northeast Sustainable Energy Association. And in recent years, Rachel has joined the company and is the person who does a lot of the outreach to the homeowners and holds their hands through the decision-making process and has a real gift for putting people at ease about costly things. So we thank you both for your significant contributions, and we award you the Green Newton 2018 Environmental Leadership Award to a business. Thank you.
Thank you again for coming, everybody. As I mentioned, we're doing a survey in each and every one of the schools in Newton to find out about recycling. What's going on? Is anything getting composted? As you see, Pierce and Underwood are doing some great work, but unfortunately that's not happening in every single school. So we're looking for volunteers for some schools, and if you can help us find those volunteers, that would be great. We have an e-news bulletin that goes out to over 1,600 Newton residents every week. We have about 400 members of Green Newton. We'd love your support. We can be the most sustainable city in Newton. I'm going to mention one thing. If you do not know about Newton Power Choice, please ask us about it. We have information in the back. It is the single most amazing opportunity for Newton to become sustainable, and we have the opportunity to do that starting next year. Thank you very much.
You've got to treat your planet well.